just found out that crook Joe Biden DOJ secretly attacked my Twitter account, making it a point not to let me know about this major hit on my civil rights. My political opponent is going crazy, trying to infringe on my campaign for president. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Does the First Amendment still exist? Did deranged Jack Smith tells the unselect to destroy and delete all evidence? These are dark days in America. Trump recently sent this out. If you don't know what is going on,
Accept the truth that he didn't win.
the lie, man.
Well, he believes he won, and the Biden administration will never be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he didn't. But what he's being indicted for ultimately is following legal advice from an esteemed scholar, John Eastman, that he could petition his own vice president and ask his vice president to pause the voting on January 6th to give the states one last chance to certify or re-audit. That was the ultimate ask that President Trump made in his ellipse speech. That's clearly protected. Let's go back, if we could, and see what was going on January 6th. Both Vice President Pence and President Trump saw that they had 10 million votes more than they had in 2016. No president has ever lost under those circumstances. They also saw that Joe Biden outperformed Hillary Clinton by 15 million votes, even though she was an inspirational candidate and Joe Biden was sitting at home in his basement. They also saw that President Trump won almost all of the disputed counties. In addition, they had over 1,000 people come forward and under oath say that there were discrepancies in the election. And finally, and most importantly, what President Trump and Vice President Pence saw were that the rules of the game had been changed by local electoral officials contrary to the state legislatures. So he took what he was entitled to do, which was petition Vice President Pence on January 6th. Once that petition was completed and Vice President Pence rejected his position, it was over and there was a peaceful transition of power.
Look, I got to unpack a couple of those things there because some of it is just sort of political spin, and I understand that. But let me get to this issue of the esteemed legal scholars.
No, it's part of our legal defense.
Hang on a minute. I understand that. The esteemed legal scholars. Here's what the former Attorney General Bill Barr said about that strategy. I want to get you to react to it.
I don't think this defensive advice of counsel is going to go forward because I think the president would have to get on the stand and subject himself to cross-examination in order to raise that, and he'd also have to waive attorney-client privilege.
Is the former president going to take the stand?
Advice of counsel can be raised without anyone taking the stand. That's just plain wrong. But what we had was a very, very thoughtful memo by John Eastman, who was a professor of law, dean of a law school, head of a constitutional scholarship program, and well understood and well renowned. He had been a Supreme Court clerk and a Fourth Circuit clerk. Even Mike Pence said he was the legal scholar that was developing a lot of these points.
According to this article published by the Town Hall, back in January, Special Counsel Jack Smith sought and obtained a search warrant for President Trump's Twitter account. In the warrant, Smith demanded Twitter not to tell Trump the special counsel was pursuing his account. On January 17, 2023, the government applied for and obtained a search warrant that directed Twitter to produce data and record related to the real Donald Trump Twitter account. At the same time, the government applied for and obtained a non-disclosure order which prohibited Twitter from disclosing the existing or content of the search warrant to any person. Based on expert affidavit, the district court found probable cause to search the Twitter account to evidence of criminal offenses. Moreover, the district court found that there were reasonable grounds to believe that disclosing the warrant to former president will seriously jeopardize the ongoing investigation. investigation by giving an opportunity to destroy evidence, change pattern of behavior, notify Confederate court documents state the warrant required Twitter to turn all of our required information by January 27, 2023. The non-disclosure order was to remain in effect for 180 days. It issued, the government faced difficulties when it first attempted to save Twitter with the warrant and non-disclosure order. The document continued in response to the request for access to Trump account and the warrant. Twitter argued the effort was a violation of the First Amendment according to, I don't want to read this all. You will understand exactly what is going on here. This is a clear violation of your right. Elon Musk rejected to hand over this, and they have now fined Twitter. I think about $350,000 they have to pay for this fine for refusing to hand over this information. It is extremely concerning. We recently saw what happened. The Biden administration was asking Facebook to censor people, with different opinions pertaining to COVID. Even the Daily Wire, they asked that they should censor them when they post their information should not go viral, but they should put up like the Washington Post first. Imagine all these. The White House having influence on social media companies. And I'm glad Elon Musk took his stand and now Twitter is to pay this amount. This is extremely bad.
How do you navigate DeSantis versus Trump?
So I navigated by saying that what we really need is a courageous leader. Now, I don't think that the Republican...
You don't think the two of them are?
I don't think so.
Truth be told, we need to appreciate Elon Musk. Imagine if Twitter was still like before, by now it could have been story. Maybe we will not even know what has happened. We would have been shocked to see some private information in his Twitter account being leaked to these people. If it's happening to Twitter, it therefore means even Facebook, Instagram is not safe. The government can pressure these people, to succumb to this, and at the end of the day, they will give out your information. If they could do this to a former president, now finding Twitter, on this I know it's even insignificant to Elon Musk, but it is crazy to actually realize what is going on.
That doesn't involve an obstruction of federal government. But what the Biden administration has said is somehow President Trump obstructed a federal proceeding. That relates to what was going on in the states. And President Trump had every right to ask the Secretary of State, I believe that this election was conducted improperly. There are deficiencies here. I want to see if there are more than 10,000 votes or whatever.